Listen to the Buddha.
The best secret to transforming loneliness is to find your incarnation in all the objects related to your life. One of the greatest misfortunes in life is not having someone to share and empathize with at any time about intimate matters or emotions of joy and sorrow. The feeling of being isolated, adrift, is what we call loneliness. Even if we live with family members or are surrounded by good friends, there often seems to be an invisible wall between us and them. This wall prevents us from wholeheartedly connecting with each other, making true understanding impossible. This wall can be formed by differences in personality, interests, knowledge, life perspectives, or even social status. But sometimes we ourselves are creators of this wall, as we hesitate to trust and accept someone until we fully recognize their sincerity. We make it difficult for ourselves by placing ourselves in a special position that only someone with great determination and goodwill can overcome. Life increasingly leans toward enjoyment, with everyone striving to accumulate wealth or secure their status to elevate their ego and feel valuable, leading to inevitable competition and opposition. Consequently, we live in a constant state of defense. We tend to believe that the closer someone is to us, the more likely they are to take advantage of us or eliminate us. As a result, our space for freedom shrinks. Spontaneity and openness become limited, and concepts of deep affection or mutual support are considered outdated and extravagant. Thus, people have never felt life as dull and meaningless as they do now. The higher one climbs the ladder of fame, the more isolated one becomes. The more possessions one has, the more alienated one feels. It is paradoxical that while we try to separate ourselves from others and never create opportunities for people to connect with us, we still lament that no one truly understands or is close to us. But who will understand us when we are still too preoccupied with protecting our ego, especially when we are not yet willing to understand others? If we want others to approach and understand us, we must expand our hearts to make space for them. Even if we try to love sincerely, if we stubbornly maintain our rigid attitudes, remain unwilling to share and wholeheartedly support others, or easily hurt by pride, we have yet to break down our own selfish walls. Even when love is passionate and people are devoted to each other, if they separate for just a few hours, they immediately fall into a void of loneliness. Such love is merely an exchange of emotions, a way to soothe personal loneliness. When we do not recognize each other's true value, the closer we cling, the greater the emptiness in our souls. Thus, the more we love, the lonelier we feel. People often say, loneliness is the homeland of geniuses. This is because geniuses often live in quiet solitude to explore and create. But the real reason is that they cannot find someone on the same intellectual level to share and empathize with. However, this unique brilliance only manifests in specific areas. In other aspects, geniuses still need to learn from and engage with others. A genius is not necessarily perfect or devoid of emotions. A genius is truly lonely only when they see themselves as extraordinary, while viewing others as too ordinary. Those who have faced many failures often lose faith in life, and even in themselves. They constantly feel that they hold no value in the eyes of others. This inferiority complex isolates them from people, making loneliness their only companion. In general, whether trapped in arrogance or inferiority, one feels unable to integrate equally with others. Yet, we attribute our loneliness to fate. It is hard to believe that our attitude toward life is the root cause of loneliness. But upon deep reflection, we realize this is true. Let's try opening our hearts to make new acquaintances. Even if they do not bring us comfort, they at least provide us with experiences to build better relationships in the future. If we want a good friend, we must first be a good friend. Do not wait for luck or sit idly, wallowing in our miserable loneliness. That is a weak and defeatist attitude. We can overcome loneliness by dismantling unnecessary barriers and creating a welcoming and comfortable space for those around us. Let's open our hearts unconditionally. Among 1,000 people, we will surely find one. We should not hastily seek another ideal companion immediately after an emotional failure. When a wounded animal is hurt, it retreats to its den to heal itself. Sometimes it must stop hunting for months, lying still and licking its wounds. If it cannot suppress its hunger, it will surely be attacked by another predator or be destroyed by its own injuries. Escaping loneliness is the same as refusing to heal our emotional wounds. Even if our failures have not left deep scars, if loneliness makes us feel lost and unable to stand firm, it is already a psychological disorder. It prevents us from living deeply and peacefully in the present moment. Therefore, to become a resilient person, we must learn to face our loneliness, understand its nature, and recognize what we truly desire. In reality, loneliness offers us a precious opportunity to reconnect with ourselves. When we sit with ourselves in a peaceful state of mind and an attitude of discovery, we will eventually uncover profound truths about who we are. Gwen Du once advised, "Can you find a soulmate in just one day?" The tale of Kyo. Finding a soulmate is not something that can be chosen in a short time. It requires closeness, interaction, sharing, empathy, acceptance, compromise, letting go of prejudices and stubbornness, as well as mutual respect and affection. Only then can two people truly become soulmates. Though we say choose, in reality, a soulmate is not someone pre-existing for us to pick. Occasionally, we may meet someone who seems to understand us instantly. They grasp our thoughts and aspirations quickly, making us feel as if we have known them forever. But in truth, they may simply be perceptive, or we may have exposed our thoughts too clearly, or we may share many similarities. However, there are still many deep psychological layers that only time can reveal. No matter how talented we are, we must yield to the power of time, which gradually unveils each other's secrets. When two people become soulmates, they must see that they exist within each other. All the love and kindness they have exchanged have become a part of each other. Buddhism calls this transformation. If we do not see each other's transformations, we have yet to truly touch the essence of one another. Like in Tanda's poem, The Oath of Mountains and Water, the mountain laments that the water had forgotten its promise and left, making the mountain suffer in loneliness. Remembering the oath between water and mountain/water is left. The mountain stands alone the high mountain looks out endlessly the stream runs dry with tears waiting day by day. But the mountain failed to see beyond appearances and recognize that water had transformed into clouds that enveloped the mountain daily. Even when the clouds disappear, they return as rain to nourish the fields at the mountain's base. High mountain, do you not know? Water flows to the sea and returns as rain to its source. The green fields are also part of the water. The mountain's failure to see this is its own mistake. Water cannot remain unchanged from mountain forever because its nature is impermanence, constant transformation. Thus, the best secret to transforming loneliness is to find our incarnation in all the objects related to our lives. The more we open our hearts to share and support others unconditionally, the more expansive we become. Loneliness may be the homeland of geniuses, but it can also be the prison of those who have not yet found their place in life and still rely on life support. As long as we have not overcome loneliness, we have not yet found true peace and happiness, because a truly happy person is one